Oil is the talk of the week. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions here with a super quick market update. Wanted to make sure that as we get ready for futures to open, you kind of get a little bit of a better sense of direction of what the market is currently talking about. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I really hope that you learned something new. And if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. First off, oil has had one of its best performing weeks in a very long time. You guys could see even the United States Oil Fund has gone from lows of $70 per share. And this relatively began to happen from the middle to late February. You guys could see from like the middle, we were trading right around $75-$80 per share. And then we've ran up to highs of 113. So again, if tensions within the U.S. and the Middle East continue and these attacks continue to happen, especially targeting oil plants, it's no surprise that we're going to continue to see oil prices rise. With that being said, we've talked about it in the past few weeks. Yes, it makes sense if you're a high risk trader that you're focusing on day trades and you're trying to make money when direction is in your favor, that oil can be a lucrative commodity to trade right now because it's very relevant. Is it a good investment at these levels? A friendly reminder, if there is a resolution between Iran and the US in any way, then these oil prices will quickly retrace. That is where the risk falls. If this announcement is shared overnight and you carry a position overnight, this is why we talk about this being a high risk trade and more of a day trade than an investment. With that being said, you're an adult, you can do whatever it is that you want. I just wanted to shed light on the opportunity, but also on the risk, because we always have to talk about both sides. With that being said, 48%, and also when you look at Brent oil, it's also seeing about a 30% increase, again, from middle to late February to now highs of $92 to $93. The really interesting part about this is that this is all before oil futures open with everything that's happened over the weekend. If you guys did not see the news, you guys like when I share this, so I wanted to share it with you. A whale has opened a $2 million oil short position today. If oil pumps up to $98.50 a barrel, he will get wiped out, liquidated. The reason he will get liquidated is because he's heavily leveraged. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these platforms where they allow you to use this type of leverage, let me double check real quick. Let's see. Entry price, $95. Size, yeah. Actually, I don't see the overall leverage. It says 9.26 leverage. There are some times that I've seen some crypto traders use up to 40x leverage. I've heard of platforms allowing up to 100x leverage. But again, that's just insane to me. We've said it many times. Feel free to invest in any speculative asset that your heart desires. Just please don't use leverage. It's a very terrible thing, especially when direction turns against you. This might look like a really smart play because oil prices technically are overbought in the short term or in the long term. But if tensions continue between Iran and the US and more attacks happen, who knows, right? Markets can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. So who's to say that it can't continue to pump up higher to $100 a barrel, to $110 a barrel? I mean, who would have thought that it would have been trading at these levels, right? Unprecedented times means you need to make sure that, you're not afraid to take advantage of opportunities, but you also don't have to be overly aggressive. Now, this is the very unfortunate thing because if you betted on a potential resolution over the weekend, then this is kind of like what it sounds like this individual did. And for those that have not seen it, feel free to look it up. But again, the Iranian TV correspondents report live from a bombed area in Tehran with massive flames raging behind him. So there's an area in Iran, if I'm not mistaken, that was attacked. It was an oil refinery, something like that. It got hit. Oil prices are expected to gap up, especially because of this attack. And again, can they respond in a more aggressive way? Possibly. Maybe some people expected a resolution to happen over the weekend, but now things are actually escalating. It doesn't look like things are getting better. To me, it looks like tensions are rising uncertainty is injecting itself. And it's really interesting because just a few weeks ago, markets wanted to kind of sweep this under the rug. Like many of you guys remember, the day after the attack, markets recovered and went back into the green. They're like, this is just like Venezuela all over again. No, like it was nothing like Venezuela, which again made it kind of difficult to digest, especially if you're a little bit newer to the market based off of how they were trading. Right? One moment we gap down, another moment we recover, another moment it gaps right back down. So now where are we going this week? I do want to remind you that overall markets, although they have been impacted by the series of events that are happening overseas, they're not devastated. If we look at the bigger picture, overall markets, the NASDAQ QQQ is not far from all-time highs. It's still incredibly bullish. Overall markets QQQ have been consolidating for the past month to month and a half. Honestly, it's been quite boring. We haven't really been able to break below 590, and we really haven't been able to break above 620 for QQQ. We haven't made new lows since last year. If you guys remember, this was November 24th. We haven't made new lows since then. We've been kind of trading within range. It's kind of a slight descending pattern, but markets are not, as of right now, incredibly bullish nor incredibly bearish. They're kind of just trading sideways. With that, again, there are big tech companies like Microsoft, Tesla, Meta, obviously all the Mag 7 stocks that have experienced individual solid retracements. Microsoft 29%, Tesla 21%, Meta 19%, Amazon 17%, Nvidia 19%, Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, 14%, and Apple 12%. The really cool thing about that is I wanted to shed light on, hey, while overall markets or individual sectors might overreact, overall markets are doing just fine. At least there's not enough panic in this market, right? There's panic in crypto. There's panic in what's going on maybe in more speculative areas. But when it comes down to overall NASDAQ and S&P 500, they're holding up very well. So again, don't put yourself in a position you simply cannot tolerate. So I hope that as we're taking all of this news in and we are seeing markets react, that you then look at the bigger picture, right? That you don't just try to determine how you feel based off of the experience you had within that day, but ask yourself, hey, we're really not actually dropping lower, at least not yet. It's not to say that things can get worse, but they definitely haven't gotten worse, at least not since late last year. And I think that's an important thing to note, that markets are more bullish than bearish. And although that this has been a negative catalyst for most of the market with the attacks going on in Iran, overall markets have not directly been hugely negatively affected, which again, I think is important to know. So what do we have in store for this week? I wanted to summarize it. It was well said on X. It says U.S. stock market and oil futures open up at 6 p.m. Eastern time today, something that everyone is paying attention to because again, if oil prices begin to gap up, then again, not just those going long on oil, but also there are a series of companies that are negatively impacted when oil prices go up. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. February existing home sales report is on Tuesday. CPI report for February gets released on Wednesday. We plan to live stream that. So the US Q4 GDP report is going to be Friday. PCE inflation report, which is the Federal Reserve's favorite measure of inflation, is going to be Friday. JOLTS, which are job openings, going to be released on Friday. All eyes on oil prices tonight. Again, the big focus is oil. One thing that I wanted to ask Warren AI, which is pretty much the chat GPT version of Investing Pro, I asked while oil prices rise, what type of stocks in the stock market drop? Airlines, materials, and consumer goods are the ones that feel the pain first. I just think it's important, or useful at least, when trying to decide what areas do I want to focus on this week or even just watch this week. We talked about airlines yesterday, right? American Airlines, JetBlue, Southwest, Delta Airlines all have seen a solid retracement based off of these attacks. If there's a resolution, it wouldn't be much of a surprise that they could quickly recover. But it's not to say that things can't get worse. If oil prices continue to skyrocket, those companies are likely to experience another downturn because when it comes down to fuel costs, they make up 20 to 30% of airline expenses. Materials and chemicals, margin pressure, and then consumer goods squeezed by inflation. So the really big thing about this is that when oil prices soar, watch for red screens in airlines, materials, and consumer goods. These are the sectors that always feel or pay the price first. again, I thought that was really interesting. Just as everyone's fixated on what's going up, it's also important to note what's going down, because once the rally on oil is done, if a resolution does happen, or when it does eventually, right, then what is going to begin to recover, which again, our job is not here to predict. Our job is always to prepare. I do want to remind you again, if you like the way that I break things down, we always like to share different ideas, especially within our live trading session with my LPP team. I do trade live every morning. I'm going to be trading live tomorrow, and I wanted to invite you. If you want to tune on in, take 2 minutes, click the second link in the description down below, learn a little bit more about our LPP team, and see if it's a good fit for you. Again, if you like it, feel free to join, and tomorrow we'll see you at Market Open. Like always, hope that earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.